Hello, Verblingites. At this hour, we're going to go over the stages of life. This is an intermediate or pre-intermediate vocabulary lesson where we will talk about the vocabulary related to every stage of life. A child, a baby, an adult, a toddler, just where we are. And we'll go over, we'll complete sentences, we'll have different chances to speak, and talk about the different life stages. So that's the plan for today. I hope to see people here and planning to speak English about this topic. So my name is Holly, and I will be the teacher for this hour and for this class anyway. I'm originally from Idaho, and Idaho, right now it is 5 a.m. and I believe it's sometime in, I believe in Japan and Korea, in that area, it's about 9 in the evening, and in Europe, it's early in the morning. It's about 4 or 5 in the morning. No, it's not 4 or 5 in the morning. It's 4 to 5 in the morning here. So sorry, Europe, it's early afternoon. So, yeah, awesome. So, look forward to having anyone come to this class if you can, and we will go over the stages of life. In the in the process, I'll go ahead and cough into the microphone. I know that's rude, but I did it, so I apologize. Forgive me. Anyway, so it's 5 a.m. in Idaho. Let's see, what is the weather like here? It's probably about 10 to 12 degrees Celsius. Let me type in weather underground to see what it is here. Weather underground Boise. It's 5.1 degrees Celsius here, so it's just above freezing. So we are actually starting the winter season, or we're getting close that way at least. Fall started a couple weeks ago, and fall it gets kind of cold, and then we start from there. So yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. I hope people come and I and go through this lesson with me. So you can find the worksheet. I'll give you the URL for that, just in case people don't know how to find it. The URL for the worksheet is right here. And also, if you want to follow me on Facebook, that would be Verbling Teacher Holly. And if you want to follow me here on Verbling, that would be, bear with me a moment while I URL for that. So profile for that is this. Okay, so this is a vocabulary activity where we will go over and talk about stages of life. Let me show it to you again. It's a fairly easy activity where you would get a chance to actually speak a lot. From childhood to old age, we'll talk about the where you are there. We'll also complete sentences. We'll talk about different things about your country. When can you legally drive, work, smoke, retire, or any other kinds of questions. We'll read a story and put that story in order. And then we will again, try to use some phrases in bold in the sentence, and again, talk and compare life in your country. So that is the plan for today. So hopefully we can have somebody show up and come and talk about this and so forth. So again, I'm in Idaho where it's 5 a.m. and it's 5 degrees outside. So I guess, and it's also, is it the 5th of October? It just might be. It might be the 4th of October though. So I don't know. I don't know the date. No, it's a 4th. So 5 a.m., 5 degrees outside on the 4th of October. So, and if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Facebook is Verbling Teacher Holly. Just go ahead and go into this search for that. So, okay, in a few more minutes, I'll just go ahead and start the lesson, and hopefully people will join me. So, again, the topic today is on stages of life. So we'll be talking about being a teenager, being an adult. We'll talk about rites of passage, the difference between a child, a toddler, preschool, a young adult. When does middle age start? When are you planning to retire? And many things like that. So we'll just wait a few more minutes and then we'll get started on the presentation today on stages of life. My voice is kind of leaving me, so hopefully we'll get some people to participate so that they can talk as well. So. Okay, so hi, how are you today, Amr? Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello, Amr.
Hello, Holly. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So how do I pronounce your name? Is it Amr? Is it just like the
Yes, exactly. It's Amber. Yeah.
exactly? Okay. Yeah. And remind me, you are from, is it
I'm
Turkey?
from Egypt, Holly.
Egypt. Okay. I
Oh,
always forget.
yeah.
I see you about once or twice a week, and I always forget. So I apologize about that.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's okay. Yeah, how are you doing today?
excuse me.
How was your weekend today?
So far so good. It's now 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I've pretty much been teaching most of the night. So my weekend will start after I go to bed. I think right
Oh,
now, I don't know why, but it just kind of happened. I'm sleeping Asian hours, so when the Asians go to sleep is around the time that I go to sleep. So,
yeah. Yeah, different times. Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah.
yeah.
So how can you manage your time?
Um, well, it makes it easy that it's just me and the dog. So I can just work when I want to, sleep when I'm tired, eat when I'm hungry, you know. So if you have
Yeah,
a family, it's a little bit more difficult. And so I do help my sister and her husband out with childcare. So in a couple more months, I probably won't be able to have this kind of schedule and stuff. But I am a night owl. I stay up all night anyway, so it's like
yeah,
if I have nothing in the morning, I just totally do that. So it's so I'm really enjoying being able to teach when I have the most energy, which is at night. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's good.
So so you're
We
an
have
attorney.
something in common, yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm a night owl as well. We have something in common. I'm a night owl as well.
Are you a night owl as well? So you understand? Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember being when I was in my first year, second year teaching in Korea. I I had my last class ended at 9:30, and I would be so energized I couldn't go to sleep. But
yeah.
then my first class started at 7, and so so I would teach that class and then I would go home and sleep. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I remember I would use ginseng toothpaste. Do you know ginseng?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about it, yeah.
Yeah, and the ginseng would wake me up for that hour. So
Yeah, poor
that,
you, yeah.
yeah, that was back in 1995, a long time ago. So
Yeah, long time, yeah. Thanks God, yeah.
so now
Mm.
you are an attorney in Egypt. Is that what you are? Did I
Yes,
hear?
exactly. I'm a
Okay.
lawyer, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I had forgotten what country you were from, but I didn't forget what you did for a living. So,
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I've been to UK several times on business, yeah, and I visited a lot of lovely cities, especially Manchester and Swansea.
oh,
Yeah,
have you?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't been to Manchester yet, but I've met a lot of people from Manchester. There's
yeah.
some worked with an EU funded project, and the University of Manchester was the head of it. So I met some professors there, and they meet some nice people there. And so
Yeah,
yeah, and then I trained some teachers also in Manchester as well. So
yeah, exactly. They are very lovely people there, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Especially the Trafford, yeah. Have you been to Trafford?
no, the only place in England that I've been to is London.
London, yeah, yeah. What a
Yeah,
lovely city, actually, yeah.
yeah. I've been there, I think, too many times. I always seem to go to London with people who've never been there before, and so we end up doing the tour bus, and we do a lot of the tour things. And I'm like, oh,
How long has it taken between your city to London?
well, I don't live in England.
Yeah,
I live
yeah, really?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
uh,
American. I live in the U.S. I live in
yeah,
Idaho, USA. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, I thought you live in the north of UK or something like that. Yeah.
well, my actually, it's interesting. My ancestors are from there. My great great grandfather um,
Yeah, yeah,
came from Lancashire area.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
but
exactly.
I've never been there. So but
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe you're confused with somebody else. I don't know.
No, 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 bro,
Uh,
it's okay. I thought you live in UK or something like that. It's
no,
okay.
no. I did live in Finland for about 11 years. So, and one of the things because I lived in Europe for so many years, as an American, if I'm teaching Europeans or teaching anybody, I like to use uh, British material so that
Yeah,
I can teach the British and then I can add on the American English. So that's what I do. Um,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you
yeah.
have a little bit of British accent. Yeah.
Oh, do I? Thank you. I think.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Antonio, welcome. Are you the same Antonio that I know, or I think there's like three or four of you in Verbling? Are-
Hello, hello.
Hi. Are you from Spain?
Yes, I'm from Spain.
Okay, have
Jesus,
you
as
been
you
in
say, Andres.
have you been in my classes before or
No, it's my first class with you
Oh, okay, it's
here
first
in
class.
Berkeley.
Okay. Well, welcome because I think there's about 3 or 4 Antonios. So,
Yes, a lot of Antonios here in Spain.
is it excuse me.
Ah, probably.
Yeah, so is that a common name like John is in English?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So welcome. All right. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm just a little about myself. I am from Idaho in the USA, and that's over by Oregon, Washington. And actually I've been teaching English since 1994. And
Mhm.
let me show you who I look like. So I've been teaching English since 1994. I started teaching online in 2006. I started my own business when I did that, and came back to the States in 2009, and um, and then took some time off from teaching English and have come back into teaching English full time after a couple years break. And so it's been really fun to be back, and have been teaching here at Verblink for about three weeks, I think now, maybe a little more than 3 weeks. And so I lived in Finland for 11 years, and I lived in South Korea for 2 years. And um, so, like I was telling Amr Antonio, as an American who has actually taught Europeans, one of the things I've learned to do is I understand that you guys need to know British English as well. So I try to teach both. So I use British English material, and I add American English. So, oh, thank you, Amr. So yeah, I spent 11 years teaching business English. So anyway, this class today is a real general English, but depending on you guys, you might be able to talk a lot more. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'll let you guys take it from there. Guys, we have what this is. We're basically going to talk about stages of life. And that's from childhood to old age. And so what we're going to do is we're going to match these stages to the ages. And then there's also a lot more words I can actually teach you because there's some of these are used, but there's other words that we also use as well. So for a child, what age is a child? Does anybody want to go for that one?
Just I think it's from 1 to 2.
Okay. It's actually a different one than that.
Yeah,
Um,
I think from 0 to 1, a baby.
yeah, 0 to 1 is a baby,
Yeah,
definitely.
A, let's say 1 to 2 is a child.
Oh, not 1 to 2. No, one to 2 is actually a toddler, and actually,
Mm-hmm.
um, a toddler is. I would say actually that a toddler is more 1 to 3. I guess 1 to 2. Yeah, and because then the one thing that's missing from this list is preschool, and that's 3 to 5. So okay. Um, so what would a child be though?
Child. After that, the letter E.
E, yeah. So from 2 to 12 is a child, and I would break it up even more than that. Um, the preschool is 3 to 5, and then elementary student. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Elementary student, and then teenager. So I would break that up. Elementary student is 5 or 6 to 5 to 6 to 12. So teenager, when is teenager?
D, letter D.
B?
No, I'm sorry, C.
C,
See,
yeah. C. Okay, C is teenager. And in my opinion, just in maybe this is American English, this material says 13 to 17. I was taught that a teenager is 13 to 19 because it
Mhm.
um, comes from the name teen at the end. Um, However, a lot of people who are 18 and 19 are adults. So that's probably why they don't have it like this. So what is an adult?
yeah, I think
Anyone?
D plus 18.
Yeah, so it's 18 plus. So that's a
18
D.
plus.
D.
Okay.
And again, an adult can be separated into different sections. It says in your 20s. What would that be? Of course. Antonio, what do you say? In your
Mhm.
20s would be
In the 20s is letter F, 20
okay.
at 30.
Okay, and actually in American English, we don't even say in your 20s. We just say your 20s. Or we actually another word we might use is a young adult. So
Mhm.
if there's a young adult, then usually we'll think that the person is anywhere from 18 maybe to 28 or 18 to 30. And then the same thing for the 30s. We don't say in your 30s. We'll just say the 30s, the 30s. So that would be G. Um, Amr, in your opinion, um, uh, what age is middle aged?
Yeah, I think uh, age 40 to 75, 75?
Um,
Or
yeah, oh, yeah, that's probably what they said, but that's kind of weird to me.
yeah,
You know, yeah, that's the answer to this. But what this is a question I have asked people for years. What age does middle age begin?
yeah,
Anybody know? I've got
yeah,
I've gotten an answer anywhere from 35 to 70.
yeah, maybe, yeah. It
So,
depends. It depends on the country which you live or something like that.
yeah. So how about in Egypt? What would you guys consider middle age?
Yeah, exactly. From 40 to 90 or maybe 60.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And Antonio, in Spain, what do you guys consider middle age?
Uh, Here in the topic of the sport, we absolute categoría o category absolute category.
Oh, really? No, this
Sí.
isn't absolute. So,
O, o senior.
yeah. See, so
Yes.
retired. This would be senior and senior citizens.
Mm.
And middle age, um, you're in your 20s, your 30s, and also when you're like between 40 and 50, we might say that you're in your 40s. So the question is, when does middle age begin? So
Mm.
are you still young at 45? What do you think, Ake? How about in Japan? When does middle age begin?
Yeah, I quickly checked the Wikipedia.
Yeah?
There's no clear definition, but 30 and 50,
30
50.
and 50.
But there's no clear definition for that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so no clear definition at all. So
Mm.
yeah, and that's why I think I spent 10 years asking Finns when I was teaching in Finland, when does middle age begin? And I'll be asking all the verblingites as well so that we can find out, figure it out. So I'm 45. I don't look 45. So does that mean I'm middle aged? And if I'm 40, does that mean I'm going to die when I'm 90?
No, no, you're still young.
So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
42 and I'm still young actually.
yeah. See, and you look older than me, maybe. So
Yeah,
you're 42? Okay. It's great to be in our 40s, isn't it?
yeah.
So,
You
I,
look so young.
yeah, I do. That's why as a woman, I have no problem telling my age because I
Yeah,
always look old. I look younger than I am. So,
yeah, exactly.
so okay, let's go ahead and go through this. Number one, can you guys fill in the blanks? Okay, why don't you start with number one?
Okay,
Kate?
Kate is 27, so she's still, what is the option? Where,
Um,
A, okay.
this is it.
Still, okay. Still, 27, not a baby, child, not a
Mhm.
toddler. 20s, in your 20s. Hmm?
She's still in her 20s, you could
Yeah,
say.
her 20, yeah.
In her 20s. Okay, and that doesn't make sense to me. That sounds very strange. For me, I would say Kate is in her 20s, so
Uh-huh.
she's still a young adult.
Okay, young adult.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe how long are you a young adult though? Until you start having kids, or any idea?
Maybe teenager is not a young adult, I guess.
No.
Maybe 20?
Uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
Basically, well, I would say this: you're a university student, and once you stop being a university student, then you're a young adult. But
Uh-huh.
then again, it
Okay.
doesn't. But again, what if you go to you go to military, then you go to university, and then you finish when you're 29? So no, everybody's stage of life is different. We all make different choices. So anyway,
Yeah.
Amr, could you say number two?
Sanjay stopped work last month. He is now retired. Yes, exactly.
Yes, he's now retired. Has anybody here ever thought? Have you guys thought about retirement yet?
Actually, in Egypt, it depends. Some people here retired from the age of 60 or 65.
Uh huh.
But if we following the rules, they will retire in the age of 70.
Okay. Yeah. It really depends here as well. When I lived in Finland, people retired at 60, between 60 and 65, and they could not work. But here you can retire, but then still work. So, um, number three, Antonio, can you read that?
3.
Yeah,
Okay. Jane is 17. She isn't quite mm,
it's right here.
quite adult yet.
Yeah, so she isn't quite an adult yet.
An adult yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Number four, Ake.
Yeah. Rob is 45, but he still behaves like a young man. He doesn't feel middle-aged.
Yes, he doesn't feel middle-aged. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Um, number five, Amr.
Exactly. Jack had his first girlfriend he was a teenager. Yeah.
That's a teenager. Okay. And Antonio, number 6.
Mhm. Jeff is 38 and his wife is 33. They are both mm, they are both middle age.
We could say that. We could do that, but there's another one, actually. They're both, you could say, in their 30s.
Oh, in the 13. Okay.
In their 30s. And you
For that,
can actually, yes,
sorry.
go for it.
No, I looked for another answer for that because in the 4 is to middle age. For that is better. I think it's they're 30.
Yeah, in their 30s is better. But middle-aged, I've asked enough people. Some people say that middle age starts at 35. So, um,
Mhm.
okay. Now, one thing you can do for any of the ages, you can say they are in their 70s. Or they are in their 50s. So it's pretty normal. And so it's not just 20s and 30s, but it's every age actually. Once you get to your 20s. So okay, number 7, Aka,
Amy isn't 2 yet. She's still a toddler.
a toddler. Yes, she's still a toddler. Okay, and Amr, 8.
Uh, William is 13 now. He is no longer a child.
Yes, no longer a child. And I don't know. To parents, I think we're still. My mom still thinks I'm her child. So
Yeah.
so I think it depends on who it is. So let's talk about your countries. Uh, Antonio, in
Mhm.
Spain, at what age can you legally drive?
We can drive at
At
18
18.
age. Yes.
Is it similar to Finland in that you can take your driver training at 17 or 17 and a half, and then at 18 get your license?
Well, we can drive at 17 only cycle.
Only, okay, motorcycle.
Car,
Okay,
car or another kind of transport with 18.
okay. So you can drive. When can you legally drive a motorcycle? Is it
Motorcycle at
17?
no, at 18.
Oh,
Cycle
okay.
17. Mhm.
17. A motorcycle at 17. Okay. How about Japan, Aka?
Mhm. Yeah. Motorcycle 16 and car, normal car for is 18.
Okay.
Mhm.
And Amr, how about in Egypt?
Egypt, actually, in Egypt, we can't drive before 18 years old.
Okay, so 18 is the legal limit, basically. Okay,
Yeah, I think it's an international age, actually.
okay, yeah. Have you guys ever heard this? Heard me? I think I did this in another class one time. Rites of passage. Have you ever heard this before?
No.
So a rite of passage is an age that you go to, and you've kind of gone on to another stage in your life. So it's
Mhm.
called a rite of passage. So, for example, in my when I was growing up, one of the rite of passages that we had was getting our driver's license at the age of 14. And now they changed it, and now it's 16. So
Mhm.
in your countries, this rite of passage is 18. Um, in the U.S., it depends on the state. The more rural, do you guys know this word rural? and I can't say
Yes,
it very well.
countryside.
The
Mhm.
more rural the state, the lower the age. So Nebraska, I believe, is still 15,
Mm.
but then New York City is 17.
Mm.
So
Because
for
New York has a good public transportation, but
yeah,
yeah, American rural area doesn't have a good public transportation,
they
so
don't have any.
yeah, people have to rely on the car for moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, so it makes it nice that kids can drive at 16 for that very reason. So, and even in the mid-sized cities like Boise, that I live close to, 500,000 people or 300,000, the public transportation is not very good, and so it's good for kids to be able to drive. So, in your countries, at what age can you legally work? So, Amr, what age do people start working in Egypt?
Actually, legally, they work from 19, but most people work before this age, actually.
Okay. Do they get
Yeah.
part-time jobs after school or?
Yeah, actually, since I was a kid, I used to work in the summer holiday since I was 6 years old.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you do odd jobs
No, actually,
or?
no, no. We actually famous city here working with furniture and different kind of jobs here. You can
Oh,
find
okay.
different kind of jobs here.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like me. We were raised similar, I think. I started working at 11, um, delivering newspapers. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of jobs in the States for kids, but they're kind of they're not official because you don't pay taxes. So
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
yeah, people just give you the money. So how
Yeah.
about in Japan? At what age can you legally work?
Mhm. Yeah, usually 16, from 16, but
Hmm.
newspaper delivery boy 13, but they
Okay.
need to get a permission.
Okay.
Under 13, like, kind of, how can I say, actor and actress, such kind of special job is allowed, but they cannot work maybe until 8 o'clock, after 8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Their working hour is limited.
Hmm. Okay. All right. And how about Spain?
Mhm. Well, we can work at 18, but
18. Okay.
yes, but if you have a permission of your parents, you
Hmm.
can work at 16. 16,
Okay.
yes, 16.
And now, do any of these 16-year-olds in your country work at places like McDonald's or fast food restaurants or those kind of places?
Yes, at 16.
At
If you have the
16.
permission. Yes.
Okay. How about in Japan?
Yes, for the part-time job, yeah. After they graduate from the middle school, that means
Hmm.
16, they can
Hmm.
get uh, part-time jobs
Okay.
or normal job as well.
Okay. And how about in Egypt? Do people work at like McDonald's and that kind of jobs at 16?
Yes, exactly. If they want, they can work at any place or any time.
Uh-huh.
It
Okay.
depends on the person himself. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And in the same it's the same in the States. I think you can get your first official job where they take out taxes for places like McDonald's at the age of 15 here. And I think most people start um, the kids that get jobs are usually the ones that want to buy a car. So, and because they've got a license, it gives them the incentive to work. So, number three, at what age can you legally smoke? How about in Egypt?
Yeah, actually, the legal age for smoking is 18, but
Mhm.
most young people smoke before that age actually. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah,
Okay, so they smoke earlier, if they smoke
yeah,
at all.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I smoke since I was in 20 or 22 years old after finishing my college and joined the military service. Yeah,
Mhm. So you can say, "I have smoked since I was 20 years old." And the reason is, have you stopped smoking?
yeah, yeah. I give up. I give
You
up
gave it.
smoking.
Okay.
Yeah,
I so I smoke. I have smoked. So
I've
if you've
smoked.
given it up, so I smoked. I started smoking when I was 21 years old or 22.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Um, excuse me, my voice is trying to go away. Okay. How about in Japan?
Yeah. Usually, in the law, yeah, 20. But yeah, people started smoking before that. Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, I had to take a drink
Ah,
because I was my voice was going. Okay, so at 20, but people smoke before that. Can
yeah.
they now guys, can young people get fined by for smoking in public places and being too young?
Not fine, but if the police find that, maybe they say about that kind of.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
you cannot smoke or maybe some
Uh-huh.
suggestion.
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
know that my nephew actually got it on his juvenile record that he was smoking in public at the age of 14 or 15. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, in the States, I think it's 18 as well, or 19. But I know they will, if you try to buy cigarettes before um, they still card you, which to card somebody. Do you guys know what that is?
Car.
Yeah, to card someone. Anybody know that? Um,
Penalty?
it means to card someone means to ask for ID,
Uh-huh.
but to ask for identification. So, and it's a verb to card someone, and usually when it comes to smoking and drinking, anyone who looks under 40 will be carded. So
Mhm.
it's a verb actually to be carded. So, and since I look very youthful, I get carded for everything, and I don't even smoke or drink. So, um, Antonio, at what age do people legally smoke in Spain?
Aquí, here, sorry. Here you can smoke when you have 18. When you are an
When
adult,
you are
you can
when you are 18?
yeah, you can do everything when you have 18.
Okay, when you are 18. When you are 18 instead
When
of
you
have.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So, number 4, when do most people retire? So, how about in Spain,
In
Antonio?
Spain, well, in Spain, when you have 65 or 67, but there are some specific situation when you can retire before.
Okay, so does it depend on when you were born?
Yes, but usually you can retire in 70, 65, 67.
Mhm.
There are a new law which is depending.
Yeah, and that's the same in the States. People who were born in the 60s and 70s, we can't retire till we're 67.
Mhm.
So, yeah. How about in Japan?
Usually 60, the age of 60, but
Wow.
the problem is now government changed the pension and people can get a pension, cannot get pension until 65.
Okay.
So most of them, uh, kind of get a second, no, I mean another job after that.
Okay, so you can get another job then after you retire.
Some people, but some
Some
people
people.
don't. Doesn't, yeah,
Okay.
can't.
Yeah. And I'm going to quickly go over the vocabulary for that. This is perfect. Um, we actually call that old age pension. Bear with me. So old age in you called it a pension. We call it old age pension. In American English,
Mhm.
we would call that Social Security.
Social Security.
So Social Security benefits, and just out of information for you guys, that's just the difference between American English and British English.
Mhm.
In British English, also you talk Social Security. Um, Social Security benefits and is for everyone in British English and most of Europe. But in American English, we to say Social Security benefits is for or just for the old age and so forth. So that's just an for your information difference between American and British English. So okay, let's go on. Oh, in Egypt, when do most people retire, Amr?
Actually, most people retired in the age, we can say in the age or at the age,
You would say at the age.
at the age, yes, you can
Yeah.
say at the age of 16 to 17, actually.
60 to 70?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. 60 to 70. So, okay. And how about when do people go to university, Amr?
I think from 18,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because they graduated at the age of 22. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
4 years.
mm-hmm. Okay. And is it how about in Japan, Aka?
Sorry, the university?
Yeah.
Okay. Usually 18 after graduate
Mm-hmm.
high school, but some people, who failed the university exam,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to go to the preschool.
Okay.
Yeah, one or two
Preschool.
additional year. Yeah, preschool is a kind of distinctive system.
Okay.
The school for preparing universities and entering exam only for
Okay.
them. Yeah.
However, if you use that word in English, it has a completely different meaning.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so bear
think
with me a
so.
moment. I don't know what's going on with this Word document. But a preschool in American English and I believe even in British English, um, I don't know what's going on with this. What it means is it's for ages three to basically ages 3 to 5.
Mhm.
It is a preschool is before kindergarten.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so what we use, I'm trying to get this Word document working. Let me get another one going up. That's not working. Um, what we use is junior college
mhm.
or a college prep. So maybe you could say maybe they go to an institute or college prep or something like
College
that.
prep. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's like
Yeah.
a college preparatory um, institute, or you can say junior college.
I found a word, university grammar. How is it common English or not?
University what?
Grammar. Cram school.
Grammar. That is British English. I've heard it before.
Oh.
Um, I don't know much what that really is. To me, it sounds like
Okay.
a university crammer sounds like um, it might be like a special tutoring to join university. So it might be exactly what you're talking about.
Mm.
So
But
it's definitely not what we would ever.
mm,
Well, let's just say it this way: in the U.S.,
mhm,
university is very expensive,
mhm.
but it's very easy to get into. Um,
Yeah, but hard to graduate. That is the
yes,
system. Yeah.
20% of universities and university students in the only 20% actually graduate, and
Mm.
excuse me, the 20% that start in freshman year actually graduate, and the reason is usually not because it's hard. For some people it is, but usually it's because it's too expensive.
Mm.
So, okay. How about in Egypt? No, he already answered. Antonio, how about Spain? When do people go to university?
Normally, people who finish the high school go to the university at 18.
At
But
18?
yes, 18. But there are another test for people who are 25 years old
Okay.
to access to the university. But
Mm.
in this moment, when people don't find a job,
Uh-huh.
is re-entering in the university for to study another studies or a master to have
Hmm.
more preparation to find a job easily.
Okay. So right now it's more popular to go to university because they can't find a job.
Yes, here
Yeah.
we have the culture
Uh-huh.
to it's necessary to study a lot and to have a lot of master
Uh-huh.
to be a good people in your job.
Hmm. Okay. So a lot of people study a lot just because they can't get a job, so they go back to
Yes.
school. I knew a guy, actually I dated him a little bit about 20 years ago, and he had a hard time keeping a job, and he should have gone to university and stayed there because he was so smart. He should have stayed in the university type of field. So anyway, we are going to read a story about Mario's life, and what we're going to do is read it and then try to put it in the correct order. Okay, so let's just go around a circle. Aka, you can start, and then Amr, then Antonio, and then myself. And you know what's really funny today? I just noticed this. For the last 3 classes, every one of my students all have started with the letter A. That is so funny. I'm sorry. Every one
Yeah,
of the last 3 classes. So anyway,
true.
and okay, could you start? Read the first one.
Okay. After Mario was born in Rome, and what happened?
No,
And
no, no, no. Let's just read each. Let's read each line.
okay, he graduated from university and got a job in London.
Okay, and Amr.
Yeah, he grew up in Milan because his family moved there when he was a toddler.
Okay, Antonio.
He met Susan when he was 25, and they started to go out to
Okay,
a state.
and then Mario was born in Rome, and then Aka.
Sadly, the marriage did not last very long, and they got divorced in their late 30s.
Okay, Amr.
They they broke up 2 years later.
Okay, and Antonio.
Uh, they got back together in their early 30s, fell in love, and decided to get married.
Okay, so they decided to get married. Okay, and 2 years later, in their mid 30s, they had a baby. And Aka.
When he was 18, he moved to London in order to go to the university.
Okay, and Let's go ahead and start. Mario was born in Rome, so that's number 1. What is number 2?
He grew up in Milan.
Yeah. Okay. What is not? So he grew up in Milan because his family moved there when he was a toddler. And number 3.
When he was 18, he moved to London in order to go to university.
Yes. Okay. Number 4.
He met Susan when he was. No. First, he graduated from university.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Graduated from university. And then,
He met Susan when he was 25
yep.
and started back.
Okay. And then 5, and then 6.
They got back together in their
Well, they have to break
early
up
30s.
first.
Uh,
So this one first, they broke up 2 years later.
They broke up years later.
Yeah. Then they got back together. Okay. And then what's 8?
mhm.
Yeah. 2 years later, in their 30s, they had a baby.
Yes. And then the last one.
Yes, exactly.
Then they got a divorce.
Sadly, the marriage didn't last very long, and they got divorced later.
I think this is wrong. I think, okay, they can get divorced or they can get separated, but they need to continue the story and say they got together, they were reunited in marriage, their kids started to have children, and they became grandparents. You know, they're forgetting the ones, the grandparent stage in life is not in the story. So.
Yeah, we can create the end of the story.
Yeah, this is not, let's make it up. Did they get back together?
Yes, exactly. Everyone can make it up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's complete these sentences below with phrases in bold, and then let's talk about your life if we have time. So number 1, okay, could you read that?
Mhm. When Ron is not used to city life, he belonged in the countryside.
He what? Yeah, he blanketed the countryside.
He
He,
grew up.
I guess we
Number
could, yeah.
one.
Yes, that's the correct one. That's the correct
Okay.
answer. He grew up in this countryside. Okay. Amr.
Yes, after 4 years of study, Susan finally graduated from university.
Yeah. I think with that finally, though, it should be after 5 years of study, Susan finally graduated from university.
Yeah. In medical school or something like that.
Yeah.
It took 5 years.
Okay, number 3, Antonio.
Mhm. After 5 years of arguments, the married couple finally decide to get divorced or
Get
got divorced.
divorced. Yeah. Okay, next one. Okay. Sorry.
Jackie met a charming young man. She crushed on him almost immediately.
She what?
Crashed on him.
Crashed on him?
Yeah.
Crush at him?
I think you're thinking
Crush.
she had a crush on him.
Yeah,
Has a
crush.
crush.
Had the
Crush.
crush on.
Because what I heard was crash. And that to me, a car crashes, you know. So she had a crush on him on a almost immediately. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not on the list, but we'll do it. It works.
Yeah.
Okay, Amr.
Michael's relationship didn't last very long. They broke up. Yeah.
Okay, so they broke up after only 1 month. Yeah. Okay.
After only 1 month.
Okay, and Antonio, Boris tried to.
boys try to, yes, got back together with
Okay.
his with his
Okay. Yeah. And there's all kinds of things you could actually put in here, but that's probably the best one. And okay.
After 2 years of marriage, Robert and Claire wanted to start a family, so decided to get married.
Oh, they decided to have a baby
Yeah, I have a baby. Huh?
because they're
Right.
already married.
Yeah, after the
Okay.
marriage, yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So Amr, number 8.
Yeah. When Paul was 18, he didn't want to work in his father's music business. He decided to oh yeah, go to the university and study engineering. Yeah.
Yes.
Just go to the university and study engineering. Yeah.
Okay. Or he
Mhm.
decided to quit school or quit his job and study engineering. Okay. So how about you guys? Make some sentences about your own life using the expressions from this page. So, um, Holly was born in Idaho. How about the rest of you? Oh, guess what? You guys have been saved by the bell. You guys know that word? Saved by the bell. That's when you're at school and the teacher asks you a question you're not sure you want to answer, and then all of a sudden the school bell rings and you can go.
mm,
So so
mhm.
that's actually called saved by the bell. And it looks like
Hmm.
it's time
Yeah.
for me to go eat some breakfast. So thank you very much. You all have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. And I'll hope to see you at another time. I hope you learned some new words and I got some time practicing either listening or speaking. So thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks.
for
Have a
the
nice
and
day.
take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.